What is going on, guys? I wanted to talk today about focus. It's Sunday, April 3rd, 2016, and I want to focus on focus.
Chemicals coursing through my veins, crawling under my skin, driving me insane. I can't tell if it's falling, 'cause sometimes it feels like I'm flying, or whatever it is, got me going higher and higher. You're my dream catcher, calling you forever after. You're my dream catcher, and you'll never let me go, never let me go, never let me go, never let me go. Nightmares disappear when you're with me, when you're with me. I sleep so peacefully. Don't ever leave, don't ever leave. I can't tell if it's falling, 'cause sometimes it feels like I'm flying, or whatever it is, got me going higher and higher. Dream catcher, calling you forever after. My dream catcher, never let me go, never let me go, never let me go, never let me go.
If you didn't know, about 3 months ago, on this April 9th of 2016, so on this upcoming Saturday, I believe, on this upcoming Saturday, I will have quit my dipping addiction for 3 months. It's been 3 months since I haven't put in a dip, or, as you guys know, chewing tobacco. And I want to tell you guys, or talk about why I actually quit. A friend, actually, the day before I quit, I had a talk with a friend. He said, dude, you got to stop dipping, like, I want you to live longer than you would if you were to dip all your life. And it really hit me. That talk with my friend really hit me, because it put life into a different perspective for me. Before I was just dipping, not really thinking about it. Like, I wasn't thinking like, oh shoot, like, 20 years down the line, it's going to hurt me. Like, I was just doing it for the short term, like, whatever, like, it's cool, whatever. But really thinking about what he said was like, if I just keep going down this path, right? If I just keep going down this path, then later on in life, statistically, obviously not proven, not 100%, but statistically, I have a way higher chance of, my life getting cut short. And that really kind of hit me hard because I do want to help people and I do love helping you guys. And I do want to put a lot of my time into helping you guys. And if I were to just keep going down that road, it would have been cut short. It would have been cut short, again, statistically. And I didn't want that at all. I didn't want to take the chance. And so 2 days after that, actually, I think it was the next day, but not sure. I think within the next 2 days, I quit. I was at Safeway parking lot, about to get my groceries for the week. And I was like, do you really want to quit? Or, you just doing this? Is it going to be a short-term thing or whatever? And I really thought for a good 30 seconds, to be honest. It was very short because I knew as soon as I asked myself this other question, it was like, do you want to help people for as long as you can? For as long as you can. And I answered yes. And so that was the same answer. I said to myself, do I want to quit? Yeah. So, again, it's not the hardest thing. It really isn't. It wasn't too hard for me to quit dipping. It wasn't like the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But, I know it's hard. I know it's a hard thing, especially if you've been doing it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. I understand, and I understand the more years you do it, the harder it is because the more dependent you are on it. The more you do it every single day, psychologically, you're dependent on it. And so I totally get it. I haven't been dipping for 10, 15 years. I was dipping personally for, I started when I was 18, and I quit when I was 21, so 18, 19, 21, about 3 years. About 3 years. And so it was definitely hard. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like the easiest thing I've ever done in my life, but it wasn't the hardest. And it wasn't the hardest because this is what I did every time I got the cravings. Yes, I got the cravings. Yes, I wanted to put a freaking dip in every time those situations came. I usually did right when I woke up, right after I had a big meal, like all those type of things. And so every time those things would come up, I would want one, and then the cravings would come, and my gums would just get that feeling like, oh man, I really could just put one in right now and feel good. And even on a drive back from a workout, no one would know. No one's gonna know if I put one in and just throw away the thing when I get home, but I would. I would. And the reason I quit wasn't for anyone else. It was for me because I want to help people for as long as I can. And that was my choice. And so when I think about that, it's a lot easier, And so this is my advice to you, for you who are trying to quit, chewing tobacco, for you guys who are trying to quit smoking, for those who are trying to quit vaping, or for you guys trying to quit any addiction. For me, it really helped for me to just decide what I focused on. Okay, I just decided what I wanted to focus on. I could focus on, it's hard, bring myself down and focus on that and focus on how much I wanted it and how much it would just be so nice. And it would have screwed me over, and I would have gone down that route, and I would have failed, and I would have taken one, before now, right? But what I decided to focus on was every time that craving came, I would just decide to focus on why I quit. And the reason why I quit was because I wanted to help people as long as I can. I didn't want my life to get cut short. I didn't want anything to get cut short because of a stupid habit that I had that was so selfish that really didn't help anybody. All right? Didn't even help myself. Now I get what you guys are saying, like, oh, this is so easy for you to say, like it's easier said than done. I get it. So here's another tip that I did that every time I got the cravings, like, yes, I would think about mentally, I would think about, why I quit, right? But physically, there's another thing. I haven't smoked or vaped, so I don't know that experience, to be honest. I'm just sharing my experience. Again, I'm not even an addiction expert, so don't say I'm an addiction expert. I'm not. I'm just saying my experience from how I quit and what helped me continue this. And again, it's about to be 3 months this Saturday. And so I will continue to tell you guys my progress. But it started January 9th. And if you want to watch the video of when I did start quitting, I'll put it right up here. But it was really, really, really a self choice that I made for the long term. So now when I had the physical temptations, the mental temptations, that's what I do. I just say, why did I quit? Now the physical temptations, honestly, I'll indulge. Like lately I've been having foods that I don't usually eat, desserts that I don't usually eat, things like that, because, those will be better for me than dipping in the long, right? Like every time I felt the urge and I couldn't control it by just saying of why I quit, I would do this. Instead of putting one in, I would just go to the grocery store and grab myself some candy, grab myself a little treat, because I believe that, the tobacco long term over these little like candy and little self-indulgence things is it's black and white, right? I can have a bag of candy and burn it off in 2 days. Personally, not just walking, not just like working out and like training and earning it. But when I dip, like the tobacco's still gonna be in my system, the fiberglass and all that crap that isn't good for me is still gonna be there. So it's easy, it's black and white. And so for me, that's what I did. I would highly recommend, if you really want to quit, whether it be chewing tobacco, whether it be smoking, whether it be vaping, whether it be even drinking alcohol, okay, whatever it is, just commit to yourself and decide what to focus on. Don't decide to focus on why it's hard. Don't decide to focus on why you can't do it. Don't decide to focus on the statistics are, most likely I'm not going to do it. What's the point? Don't decide to focus on the negative. All right? Decide to focus on the positive, on why you're actually making this decision, why you're making this change. Don't even say quit. Like, honestly, for me, I don't even say I quit. I just said I made this decision to not do it anymore. All right? Why are you making that decision? And really think about that. So I definitely want to tell you guys that. I want to, some of you guys have been asking from my first video, have you relapsed? Have you done it since? Like, how's it been? And so I'll continue updating and continue trying to, help to see if people, take value from this video. But that's just something I wanted to tell you guys because it was something that was really hard for me to do. And just that mind shift, it really helped me. So if that can help any of you, even one person out there, I'm really glad that I told you. The second thing I wanted to say on a little lighter note was my podcast. If you aren't following my podcast or don't even know about my podcast, before these video blogs or vlogs, whatever you want to call them again, I was doing a podcast. And I was doing an audio podcast on iTunes, more focused on specifically just doing fitness stuff and fitness questions and answering fitness advice that I've experienced through my freaking 9-10 years of doing this. And so what I wanted to do was merge the Coach Malik Show video and the podcast now. This is episode 9 I'm recording. And so now episode 10 will be a podcast and a video blog. So check them both out if you guys like the podcast. And the last thing I want to say for today is this. What are you going to decide to focus on? In the next month, 2 months, 3 months, I want you to comment right this second. I want you to comment as soon as this video ends. I want you to comment, what are you going to decide to focus on in the next 30, 60, 90 days? So that's my question for you guys. What are you going to decide to focus on? Guys, I appreciate every single one of you so much. Please comment if you have any questions. I'm up like super late answering them, and I love to answer them, so don't hesitate. Ask any question that you guys want, and if I could help any one of you out there, this would be 100% worth it. So guys, have a great night. I hope you have a freaking awesome week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.
Good morning, eyes open, I can see the light shining through.